Have you ever felt like you've spent your whole life giving to others, your time, your energy, your care, only to forget about the most important person in the process, you? Well, it's time to change that. After 70, it's not selfish to prioritize yourself. In fact, it's essential. Today, let's explore small yet powerful steps that will allow you to invest in yourself and create a life that feels more fulfilling, more exciting, and more you than ever before. 1. Make your health a priority. Miriam used to put everyone else's health needs first. She'd schedule her doctor's appointments around everyone else's, thinking there was always time for her later. But as she watched others take care of themselves, she realized she couldn't wait any longer. So she decided to stop postponing her own needs. She started small, a regular walk in the park, more veggies in her meals, and sleeping a little earlier each night. Slowly but surely, she found her energy returning. Investing in her health didn't mean making drastic changes. It just meant putting herself first for once. And that made all the difference. 2. Give yourself permission to rest. For years, Evelyn thought rest was a luxury, not a necessity. She'd fill her days with errands, tasks, and keeping up with everything. But when she hit her 70s, she learned the hard way that constant motion wasn't sustainable. So she began to embrace the idea of taking breaks, real breaks. At first, it was hard. She felt guilty for resting when there was always something to do. But as time passed, Evelyn realized that rest wasn't just about napping. It was about restoring her energy, clearing her mind, and giving herself the space to breathe. Now she schedules time to rest without feeling guilty, and it's made her feel more connected to herself than ever before. 3. Find a hobby that brings you joy. Lately, Claire had been feeling like something was missing. She spent so much time caring for others, she hadn't made time for herself. One day, she thought, what do I enjoy doing? And that's when it hit her. She loved painting. She hadn't picked up a brush in years. So she started with small sketches and worked her way up to full canvases. The joy she found in expressing herself creatively reignited a spark in her that she thought had long been extinguished. Clara's advice? If you don't already have a hobby, find one that makes your heart sing. You deserve that kind of joy. 4. Reconnect with old friends or make new ones. For some, friendships fade with age, and it's easy to lose touch with people who once brought so much joy into your life. But Alice realized that staying connected to others wasn't just about reminiscing on the past. It was about creating new memories. She reached out to a few old friends she hadn't seen in years. They started meeting up for tea and sharing stories about their grandchildren, their travels, and their dreams for the future. And for Alice, those simple gatherings turned into something far more powerful, a renewed sense of community and belonging. Remember, it's never too late to rekindle old friendships or even forge new ones. 5. Say no to what drains you. Ruth used to say yes to everything: family requests, community events, even social obligations that left her feeling drained. But after a while, Ruth realized she was saying yes to so many things that didn't bring her joy or fulfillment. So she started practicing the power of no. At first, it felt uncomfortable, even a little foreign. But as she said no more often, she found her energy returning. Saying no didn't mean she didn't care. It meant she was respecting her own time and space. Now, Ruth spends her days doing things she loves, not out of obligation, and her peace of mind has never been clearer. 6. Stop comparing yourself to others. Esther used to look at others and feel like she was falling behind, whether it was in how they looked, what they had, or what they'd accomplished. But she eventually realized that everyone has their own unique path. So she stopped comparing herself to others and started focusing on her own journey. Esther embraced where she was in life, no longer comparing herself to the woman she was 30 years ago or the women she saw on social media. She was content with who she was and proud of the wisdom she'd gained over the years. The real secret to self-investment? Embrace your own journey without looking over your shoulder. 7. Celebrate small wins. Every day. Instead of waiting for big milestones, Betty started celebrating the little wins. Every time she completed a small task, whether it was finishing a book she'd been reading or organizing a drawer, she took a moment to appreciate her effort. She realized that life is full of these small victories, and acknowledging them allowed her to feel more accomplished and positive. The small wins added up, and before she knew it, Betty had transformed her outlook on life. Every step, no matter how small, was a step forward. 8. Keep learning. Keep growing. Harriet had always been curious, but as she got older, she started to doubt whether it was too late to learn new things. Was it too late to take up a new skill or try something completely out of her comfort zone? One day, she signed up for an online photography class just to see if it sparked anything. To her surprise, not only did she enjoy it, but she learned new skills that made her feel empowered. Now, Harriet is taking every opportunity to keep learning, whether it's through books, courses, or even casual conversations with people who can teach her something new. She realized that learning is ageless, and it keeps her mind sharp and her life interesting. 9. Invest in your mental health. Joan spent much of her life avoiding her emotions, pushing down worries and anxieties, hoping they would go away. But at 72, she realized she couldn't keep ignoring her mental health. She began seeing a counselor to help her work through some of her old fears and anxieties. It was uncomfortable at first, but the more she explored her emotions, the more she understood herself. Joan discovered that mental health is just as important as physical health, and taking care of it helped her feel more balanced, peaceful, and connected to her life. Now, Joan makes her mental well-being a priority every single day. 10. Embrace technology and stay connected. After years of avoiding anything digital, Margaret realized that the world was evolving, and it was time to embrace technology. Whether it was learning to use a tablet to video call her children or joining online book clubs, Margaret discovered that technology could open up new avenues for connection and fun. She didn't need to become an expert, but simply learning the basics gave her the confidence to stay connected to loved ones and access endless resources. Whether it's keeping up with friends through social media or learning something new online, technology is a tool that helps us stay engaged and connected to the world. 11th plan for your future, financially and personally. At 72, Joan found herself thinking more about the future than she ever had before. She realized that financial security wasn't just about retirement. It was about enjoying her life now and being prepared for what lies ahead. So Joan took small steps to create a simple, sustainable budget that made her feel secure, and she started looking into options for long-term care and other future plans. While she didn't make drastic changes overnight, those small, consistent steps gave her peace of mind and allowed her to live in the present without worrying about the future. 12. Create a gratitude practice. A few months ago, Sylvia started writing down 3 things she was grateful for every morning. At first, it felt trivial, but over time, it became a habit that shifted her perspective. Whether it was a good cup of coffee, a meaningful conversation, or a beautiful sunset, Sylvia realized that gratitude was a powerful way to focus on the positive. Now, every day feels like a gift, and she notices the small joys that she used to overlook. A simple gratitude practice has given Sylvia a renewed sense of appreciation for her life and everything she's worked through. 13. Get outside, even if it's just for a few minutes. Patricia loved the outdoors but had stopped walking as much after a few health setbacks. One day, she decided to take a short walk to the local park just to get some fresh air and clear her mind. That simple decision turned into a daily routine. Whether it was walking around the block or sitting in the garden, Patricia found that spending time outdoors, even for a few minutes, boosted her mood, improved her health, and made her feel more connected to the world around her. Getting outside, no matter how brief, is a small but powerful way to improve your physical and mental health. 14. Reflect on your life and celebrate your journey. Every few months, Lena takes time to sit down and reflect on her life, what she's accomplished, what she's learned, and what she still wants to do. It's a practice that helps her stay grounded and focused on her long-term goals. She celebrates the wins, big and small, and honors the challenges that helped shape her. Lena learned that taking the time to reflect gives her a sense of pride and fulfillment, reminding her that the journey itself is worth celebrating. 15. Take time for adventure. Louise was always the responsible one, the one who made sure everything was taken care of. But after turning 70, she realized it was time for a little adventure. She began planning short trips, whether it was a weekend getaway to a nearby town or a visit to a place she'd always wanted to see. Traveling helped her break out of her routine, gave her something exciting to look forward to, and made her feel like a part of the world outside her everyday life. Adventure doesn't have to be grand. It can be as simple as exploring new places or trying new things. Taking time for a little adventure can reignite your passion for life. 16. Redefine your purpose. At 71, Alice had retired from her career and felt unsure of what to do next. She knew she didn't want to slow down, but she also knew her purpose had shifted. She took a step back and asked herself, what do I want to contribute to the world now? She started volunteering at a local food bank, helping others in ways that brought her joy. By redefining her purpose, Alice felt more fulfilled and energized than she had in years. You're never too old to find new ways to contribute and make a difference. 17. Cultivate meaningful relationships. For years, Helen spent time with people who drained her energy. She would go along with social gatherings, just to avoid feeling lonely, but it never brought her joy. One day, Helen decided to reassess her relationships. She began to prioritize quality over quantity, spending more time with people who genuinely made her feel supported, understood, and valued. By cutting back on superficial connections, she created a smaller circle of friends who helped her thrive. Investing in these meaningful relationships has made her life richer, full of support and positive energy. 18. Be kind to your body. After 70, Martha realized that her body had changed, and it was time to treat it with more care. She started doing gentle stretches in the morning, focusing on nourishing her body with wholesome foods and paying attention to her physical limits. While she didn't expect miracles, the small changes she made, like drinking more water and getting better sleep, helped her feel stronger, more energized, and more connected to her own physical health. Self-compassion for her body became a daily habit, and it was transformative. 19th, Rekindle Old Passions. Sophie loved painting when she was younger, but stopped when life got busy. After her 70th birthday, she decided to dust off her paintbrushes and reconnect with that old hobby. What started as an occasional activity quickly became something she looked forward to each week. Rekindling an old passion reminded Sophie that it's never too late to pursue something that brings joy. Whether it's art, knitting, writing, or anything else, diving back into an old love can reignite creativity and add excitement to life. 20. Take control of your time. For years, Anne felt like her time was controlled by everyone else. Family obligations, social events, and the never-ending to-do lists. But after turning 70, Anne made the conscious decision to start taking control of her time. She began setting boundaries around her schedule, saying no to things that weren't a priority, and making time for activities that brought her peace and joy. Anne learned that time is precious, and by protecting it, she could focus on what truly mattered to her. Taking control of her time empowered her to live life more on her own terms. 21st, embrace new learning opportunities. Maggie always thought that learning was something reserved for the younger generation, but after turning 70, she discovered how exciting it could be to start learning something new. She signed up for a photography class online and was amazed by how quickly she picked it up. Learning new skills, whether it's a language, a craft, or a new technology, not only keeps your mind sharp, but also gives you a sense of accomplishment. Maggie now views every new learning opportunity as an adventure, something to look forward to, and it's given her a fresh perspective on life. 22nd, simplify your life. For years, Joan had accumulated more things than she needed: clothes she didn't wear, knickknacks that just collected dust, and an overflowing attic. But one spring, she decided to declutter. With each item she donated or threw away, she felt lighter and freer. Simplifying her home and her life gave her space, not just physically, but mentally. The less stuff she had, the more room she created for the things that truly mattered. By letting go of the unnecessary, Joan found clarity, and her life became much more peaceful and purposeful. 23rd, strengthen your mental health. Lily had always taken care of her physical health, but she realized that mental health deserved just as much attention. She started dedicating a few minutes each day to mindfulness practices, whether it was meditation, deep breathing, or simply sitting quietly. This daily practice helped her release stress and anxiety, and she felt more in control of her emotions. Strengthening her mental health allowed Lily to be more present and joyful in her daily life, and she learned that mental well-being is just as important as physical fitness. 24. Create a legacy of wisdom. Vivian had always enjoyed sharing her stories and experiences, but after 70, she realized the importance of leaving something behind for future generations. She began writing down her life lessons and memories, little anecdotes that captured her wisdom. Whether it's through a journal, a family blog, or even recording videos, creating a legacy of your wisdom can provide immense fulfillment. It's a gift to yourself and your loved ones, helping them to know and appreciate your journey long after you're gone. There you go. Small steps that can lead to big changes. It's never too late to invest in yourself. You've earned it. If you're ready to make a change, drop a comment below and let us know what step you're taking first. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who could use a little inspiration. Thanks for watching, and here's to your next chapter.